A friend of mine called me up and he said he was going to build 250,000 square feet of Class A office space on an 11-acre piece of ground that was about half a mile from my condo. And he said, it's going to be great. I'm going to build these two beautiful 5-story office buildings where there are now 2,000 junk cars in a used car junk lot that's been there for 40 years. Well, I knew the neighborhood, and I said, you're going to have opposition. He said, get out of here. This is going to be beautiful Italian granite facade. It's going to be center atrium design. The people are going to come only at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're all going to go home at 5. It's going to be wonderful. Why would anybody oppose it? And I said, I know the neighborhood. They will fight it. And he said, I can't believe that. So his lawyer said, why don't we go up to City Hall in August when everybody was on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and we'll sneak it through. And they went up there, and 40 neighbors showed up, and a city councilman said, over our dead bodies, will you replace these 2,000 junk cars dripping transmission fluid into the ground with beautiful Italian granite facade office buildings? And he got turned down. So he called me up the next day and he said, okay, wise guy, since you know everything, fix it. And 4 months later we did. He got his permits unanimously. But the problem was that he was selling benefits and features. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this later in the presentation. But he was trying to sell his office project, a political project, like it was toothpaste. You know, it makes your teeth white, it tastes good, it must be good for you. The people weren't buying it. The people who were opposed to the project were not going to be sold on features and benefits of the project. And we'll get into why. Over the years, since that project, we have worked on more than 1,100 controversial projects in 44 states, in Canada, and in the United Kingdom. Everything from office parks to hotels, power plants, oil refineries, rock quarries. If it's big and it's controversial, we've worked on one. 3 or 4 years ago, we started to get interested in the public opinion toward real estate development. And we started to do national polls. And I'm going to share some of that data with you today in our latest U.S. poll. But we also do the same poll in Canada, the same poll in the UK, and ask people what they think of new real estate development projects in their community. 78% of Americans say they don't want anything built new in their community. Nobody wants more development. And the NIMBY, you just got up and participated in the NIMBY event. The NIMBY attitude is gaining. It's gone up from 73% a couple of years ago to 78%. It's 4 out of 5 people who live near where you want to build something are against you the day you announce you want to do it. This stat surprised us. We knew people actively worked against projects, but now it's 25% of Americans have actively worked to stop something from being built in their community. 25%. Only half that number have ever worked in favor of something. So if you do nothing, twice as many people are going to show up against you as in favor of you right off the bat. When you dig down into the motivation of the NIMBY, it's personal. I don't want to lose something. I don't want to lose the value of my house. When someone is opposed to a project, they are opposed because they're afraid that it will adversely affect them. They think it will mess up their neighborhood, cut their property values, increase their commute time, or do something that will hurt them. When they are afraid, citizens become passionate. And that passion becomes political action. That's why it's easy to get 300 people to show up against a project, because they're afraid, and they're emotional, and they're passionate. And they demonstrate that. They form organizations. They show up at meetings. They write letters to the editor. They send emails. They hold signs. They put lawn signs up. This is a lesson for politicians, and politicians, the good ones, know this. Voters are paying attention to how they respond to new development at the local level. And so politicians are very, very concerned about what the people are going to say about a project. In the old days, they thought all projects were good. You know, when can we get publicity for having created these jobs as the mayor and having built this infrastructure as the mayor? But when they walk out into the city council chamber and they see 300 of you people saying, no, no, and one guy over there sitting by himself telling you why he should be allowed to rezone his property, they're going to vote with the 300. That wasn't always true. It's true today. They understand that the people are judging them based on whether they say yes or no to new real estate projects. Zoning is a political process. It is not about features and benefits. They don't care. The opponents, the NIMBYs, do not care about your Italian granite facade and your center atrium design. That's not going to make them worry that the traffic you're going to create is going to run over their children. It's political. It's not features and benefits. You can't sell it like toothpaste. You've got to understand how to get into the minds of the people who are most likely to oppose you and do what you can to keep them from organizing and keep them by neutralizing them, by finding ways to satisfy their concerns, the things that create the fear in them that make them want to organize against you. You've got to build support. As I said, you can't expect intellectually motivated people to show up because they're not passionate. They may think your project is wonderful, but if they think it, the people who are opposed feel your project is bad. It's emotion. That's what politics is. It's emotions. And you have to go out and find people who will support you. The people who have something to gain. Maybe the people selling you the property, people whose property values will go up, the people whose will have jobs there, or the unions that will build it, or whatever it is. But you've got to find those people who will benefit and turn them out to counteract that group of NIMBYs. You've got to show the council that you have support, that their vote isn't, if they vote for your project, you're not going to end up having them thrown out of office by an angry citizens. They aren't willing to risk their political career on your project. So you've got to give them political cover, or you've got to give them show support so that they don't think that their political career is over if they vote for you. And that's basically the lessons that we've learned, that it's not about the facts, it's about the emotions and the politics of the situation.
I'd first like to give Mike a round of applause for all the